Good morning, boyos. It's Blue Jay Games here with another installment of Gran Turismo Sport. Today we're going to be doing the FIA races and chose Nissan this year. A little bit of a weight disadvantage, that's for sure, with the all-wheel drive of the Group 4 and rear-wheel drive of the Group 3. Hopefully we'll be able to put something together here. So I went and bought these two guys and tried to do some races with them. The first two rounds have been absolute shit. I have been disconnected from the weather. Decided not to show it just because of my pure rage at the game. But luckily for me, the round 3 worked just in time for me to go at a very disadvantaged track. For me, decided to do St. Croix, I believe it is, and getting the memes in early here with the having a clean race. This guy decided to spam it in chats, so you know, thinking about it, and I kind of wanted to bring it back to him a little bit, so I started getting in the chat here and throwing it right back at his face. So I did it a couple times, you know, just to get in there. And I'm sorry. Of course, you know, I gotta throw in the I'm a beginner because I'm a beginner. I'll do my best. The other people are joining it now too. Gotta love Gran Turismo chat. Alright, so qualified second actually. I had a decent run. It wasn't my fastest lap. In fact, actually, I'm really not that fast with this track, as well as being at a disadvantage with car choice. But, you know, I put a solid time in for mine, and nobody else matched me, so. So you got everybody else on the grid here. Just gonna kind of go through it real quick. Most of these guys stayed up top for the most part. It was a pretty close race, a pretty intense battle with some of these guys here. Notice really it's just me and the other Nissan in the race, so not a whole lot of people are choosing GTRs this time, which sucks. But you know, it actually is easier for me because I mean it allows me to place a little bit higher up in the qualifying. So you know, getting started here, got my radar up and getting ready to go. And I'm gonna need to use all my gas, so I'm trying to keep it on the down low with the revving. So usually I just rev the crap out of it, start a race, try to get my fuel down lower than it is at default. So just kind of getting ready, warming our tires up, and gonna get off here on the way. So this guy, he's got the Porsche. He's definitely doesn't have the straight line advantage over me, especially with me in his tow, but he's a pretty solid performer. In fact, he put a really good show on this race, and kind of makes me jealous because I really should have picked Porsche, but you know, it is what it is. But gonna follow him along here with hopefully not disconnect with my 3 bars, but it doesn't look so strong so far considering he's already off the track. Oh, there he is, just blinking into existence because my internet is shit right now. But we're making it do. The Ferrari ended up backing out from the turns, so you know, we're gonna get a good run out on the exit, except no, we're not. We're gonna get a bad run, and it's gonna put him right on our inside, which sucks. He's giving us a little flash of letting him know, hey, I'm gonna pass you. Whatever. But we're holding our own for the most part. He's firmly sitting in our stream right now, so probably gonna try to make a move here real quick. And this guy was really aggressive throughout the whole race and was kind of keeping me on my toes. You can see I shut the door on him a little bit so that way he would jump up on the inside, but he would not back off, and it's putting the pressure on me, which is something I'm not used to, and it forces yet another mistake from me going on the outside, and I lose a couple positions. along with that Ferrari, I tuck right back in after this guy, so kind of shut down that other Porsche. But I mean, whatever. He's coming into a section that he does really strong at, so not gonna be any skin off his teeth. So we're coming in here, and everybody's kind of tucking and doing their own thing, and I got a better run, so I decided to come out on the outside, and I guess I'm the only one running the third-person view because he's really trying to push me out right now. Got another disconnect error. It's always fun. Just trying to nail this. I really struggle with that turn. I turn in way too early, and you can see that's kind of biting me in the ass right now, as I lose a little bit of a run on the way out. And this whole section, actually, I'm not that strong at. I really struggle with this part, but I'm getting a little bit better, and I got a decent run out of that so far. I'm tucked into this guy's slipstream, so that's not too bad. Looking back, you know, we got a decent run on that Porsche. He's not too close, so gives me some room to work with here. This turn too. This turn just kills this all-wheel drive car, but I'm making it work, and we're running the hards this time around. So as you can see, we're getting a pretty good run considering most of these guys are on mediums. In fact, this Ferrari got a hugely bad run out of that turn. So take that spot back. Puts me back up to fourth, which I'm okay with, but he comes on the outside. He is really pushing it on me, and I am feeling the pressure, but I'm holding it for now. He's stuck there. As you can see in the radar, he's just kind of got pushed back by the Renaissance. But yeah, definitely he is trying to put the pressure on me, and just how I'm going to handle it is, well, we'll see. I don't even know what he's doing there, though. Somehow he saves that and doesn't lose that much time, but how he did that, I'm not sure. As you can see, the Mercedes pushed a little wide there, so I'm going to gain some time on him. Not much, though. He kind of broke even at the end. But he's, you know, pushing a little bit and kind of closing the gap in on him. Just got to use it to our advantage. As you can see, I'm still holding strong in the fourth place, so that's good. We're coming into the next section, not that great at, but we're making it work, getting even closer, trying to nail these corners and keep up. So, yeah, I'm just keeping my pace, trying to be consistent, and that's definitely an important thing to do in an endurance race. So, try to see if I can get a better run on this corner, and I'm a little bit later, trying to do a better job. I end up going even later, which it still works. Not as bad as the first run where I go too shallow, but still I could do better. Probably the best line on there is I'm going to try to clip that and later the apex. Going here, and man, I'm really cutting that corner close, and you can see it, we're all pretty close still, so anything that could happen, I could easily drop back a bunch of places. So just gotta kind of keep my race pace going and keep it consistent. Nail my braking and try to cut in. I really do not know the best way to take that corner. So I tried something different and it lost me a little bit of time. So cutting to the end of the section here, nothing had really happened, but the Mercedes at the end of this lap definitely cuts it a little bit wide, so I get back on him. So not bad, not bad. Puts me back up to third, so I got a podium on right now. At this point, Levian's just gone. This corner still, he even pushes me out just to add a little insult to injury. So he gets his corner back, tucked into my stream, so not too bad. Fair move, but a little bit greedy on the end of that. So back down to fourth, trying to just pick him off. He gets a worse run out here, so kind of closing the gap. Keeping it nice and tucked. I'm trying to minimize my tire wear through that last corner coming up to this left-hander. And just tucking him behind, hoping that he's running his car harder than I'm running mine. Which can be harder considering I have the all-wheel drive and he doesn't. But considering the tire difference, it probably evens out about the same. So back and forth then, and just trying to keep up the pace, and he's really going defensive now, so I figure screw it. if he stays out there, he likes that narrow line, and it's really biting him in the ass here. As you can see, as I'm just gaining on him. So much so that I went even wider myself just to try to get that extra time. But he comes out and he gets a little bit of space, but he definitely lost a lot going in. So he goes even wider then, and I'm firmly in the slipstream now. So that's good for me, not good for him. Definitely a close race with us so far, and not too far behind us, but definitely not on my ass as the other Porsche. So I'm more worried about him than I am the guys behind at this point. So just gotta keep our race up and try to see if I can force him into a mistake. Of course, with my tire wear as it is, I'm gonna be pitting on lap 5. So I'm really just trying to use my tires to their fullest and try to make some advantage. In fact, actually, with my tire wear being so bad as it is, I mess up my braking point and actually hit him, which is totally my fault, my mistake. But it leads us to the run into the long straight at the start line. I'm just going to cut a little bit out and try to get on his outside and make it work. And he ends up getting the penalty for that little bump, and I feel so bad for him. He's got to be pissed in that car. In fact, he actually gives me a little brake check just to let me know that it's my fault. My bad, dude. Totally my bad. But, you know, it's the thing with close racing. And I mean, we are racing really close. And the fact that we're not pushing each other off the track, it says a lot, definitely, about this game. I'm pretty happy with where we're going. But in our fighting, the Porsche closed in on us as well as the Ferrari. So a little bit of a tight race now, considering we are all battling for this third place. In fact, the Porsche goes on the inside. I try to get the cut back on him, and of course I start lagging out at this point, which, you know, is not good for my trying to not push anybody off the track. So I'm just guessing at this point where they're going to show back up, and I get lucky. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to push me narrow, which I am not having. So I try to push back a little bit, get a little bit of my line, and just trying to keep up on the inside. And I end up using the Mercedes run out of there, and I end up boxing him in, so he has the same run. Just using my opponents to my own advantage, you know. In fact, actually, the Mercedes is going to run wide. He does not do this section very well. So we use that to try to get back up a spot. He's going to serve his penalty here, so he's firmly out of the race. So now it's just me, the Porsche, and the Ferrari that are battling it out right now for this lap. And I'm going to go in at the end of this lap. I'm not sure what these guys are doing, but so Porsche goes a little narrow, and I tuck in and try to take him. And we'll see. He's got this weird alternate line where he goes way out, and I wasn't expecting it. I thought he was doing a move for me, but later on in the race I could see that it's just his general line. So he ends up losing that position, trying to look up on the inside, and I'm just not going to let that happen. I end up turning in too early just because I do not want to let him back in after I just worked so hard for that third place, as it was. So we're going to be going into the long straight once more, trying to get in there, and he is really looking up on the inside. A little bit of a dirty move, bit of a dick, but whatever. I'm going to use this slipstream to get back in there and try to go fast. So, pitting, we're going to do a bold move and go to the mediums. I'm not sure if this is going to work out for me. I also need to get about a lap's worth of fuel, so that way I can finish the race without running out. So we're switching over these medium tires, and I'm hoping that I can really attack this last section, and with having just over half a tank, it won't wear my tires down to the point where I become at a deficit. So lost a little time to the Porsche. It seems like I lost a little time to the Ferrari too, considering he's on my ass again. So it's still a tight race between us three for fourth place as of right now. I think Mad Dog, he's going to be pitting next lap, so it's going to push back up to third, but for now we're racing for fourth. So just getting a weird run, and this Ferrari is hot on my ass. So he's going to try to push on the inside, and I am not letting that happen. So I hold my line, and we go down to the long straight to see which car is faster. I think I'm just pulling ahead of him on the top end of my gears, but he's got that inside line, so it's definitely going to help him. of course, coming down to this section, I don't think it will help him, considering I have the outside line, which is a better turn, and he backs out, lets me get my optimal line, so that's good. Really using these tires, in fact, going a little bit too much on them and hitting that wall. But we're making it work. We're trying to use those tires to our advantage, trying to attack this lap, see if we can make time before we wear these tires down. So, Porsche in our battling has pulled away a little bit, so gotta have a little work to do to get back up to him. And at this point, Levion's just gone. There's no way I'm catching him, as well as Killa's Hemis. Just, they are fast, and they are sitting a lot more consistent lap times than I am, so I just gotta kind of do my own race and pick up positions where I can. So at this point, we're just focusing mostly on this Porsche here, and we'll see what kind of stuff we can do coming into this. Still cutting this corner too much, and I am really losing a lot of time on it, so something I gotta work with. In fact, actually, I'm still gaining on the Porsche even though I cut that corner, so maybe he took it worse, or maybe he just doesn't have the speed that I do. In fact, actually, I'm getting a little overzealous because I'm going to pick up a huge penalty here, and this is just devastating for me because this really is going to put me down the order. So, going to have to serve this penalty at the end of this lap, and it is going to screw with my race like no other. 3.6 seconds. Luckily for me, you don't have to serve all of that if you serve it, which I don't have a choice considering it's the FIA season. So, we're going to deal with the hand we got dealt with, and maybe this is karma for me actually hitting that Mercedes earlier. We'll have to just leave that to what it is, especially considering that this is my fastest lap. This is when I really need to use these tires, and I'm going to get screwed by this penalty. So we're just trying to get as much time as we can to get up to this Porsche. So I assume that when I get to the end of this lap, I'm going to be sitting behind the Ferrari. So trying to get us to that point so that way we can at least tuck him behind somebody's slipstream and keep the race going for the most part. I just gotta keep my head in and keep this lap going strong. Since we don't have any competition, it's easy for me to just kind of put my lap pace down and just keep it going. So getting ready to stop here regretfully and trying to do what I need to do. I nailed this corner, so it's good. Leads me up to a good strong start on this. Not in his slipstream, so I'm gonna lose some time and try to sit on the outside, so I'm going straight to underneath or behind the Ferrari. Interesting choice of car, but still just out of his slipstream, so I cut the corner a little bit, trying to get closer so I can keep in this race. I do believe that as of right now, I can still get third place if I just keep my head in it. In fact, actually, looks like Hemis is gone. So if I can get back up to the second Porsche, I might be able to get a second, which is not too unreasonable of an ask, considering if I can just keep nailing these laps and don't get any more penalties. So really got to get on the back of that Ferrari though, otherwise I'm going to lose a lot of time down some of these sections. So just trying to keep my corners nice and doing what I got to do. Going on to lap 8, so I got 2 more laps. I got to clear behind, so that's good. Just, doing my race, and then I just fuck this corner up and lose a ton of time. He's just gone. See you later. So, you can't cut this corner. You gotta go out a little bit wider, at least in the all-wheel drive cars. I've noticed is that you do that and it really unsettles your car for this next section. This whole section is connected, so you gotta really nail it. Otherwise, you'll get caught out on the other turns. And I'm just trying to do that and see where it lands me. So I got this, and just trying to be consistent. Of course, it's easier said than done. And, just kind of letting life go on, just like how I normally do. And how I've been away from the channel for so long, just trying to make things work. Also, it's good to see you guys again. finally putting out some audio on my races instead of just posting them straight from PS4. So, you know, happy to see you guys again. Hopefully I'll be having time to do some more of the videos that I've been wanting to do. I do plan to come back to Crash and Burn at some point, so look forward to that. But don't look too forward to that, because if I'm too busy with my degree, of course, you know what comes first. So, just trying to keep up with this car. This Ferrari's leaving me in the dust now. The medium tires are probably a bad choice for me, so I'm just trying to deal with what I can. I just got one more lap. I just gotta nail this one and stay in front of this Mitsubishi. So I got some time. I just gotta not make any mistakes, or just not do exactly what I just did and get him right on my ass. Yeah, so he's gonna go on the outside, so I need to try to stay on his inside, and you know, a little bit messy, but it works. He ends up getting the cut back on me though, which really doesn't help, especially because I overcook it on that turn. So we're just trying to make things work, and I am seriously struggling, but not to worry, we're still making it work. I mean, we're both in all-wheel drive, so it's not like we're not struggling in somewhat similar ways. I'm really trying to nail this. I think that's the best way to take that line through there, so I'm really happy with that, and it kind of starts putting me on his back end. We're getting some time back on, so learning from my mistake last lap and trying to tuck in, and you can see how the car is already in a different spot. It kind of helps me position it better for this corner leading up here. So he is getting a little bit better of a run. His car is, for an all-wheel drive car, the Lancers and the STIs, they're just really good for the handling circuits. Not too much on the top end, which is kind of different from mine, but still all-wheel drive nonetheless. So it's going to eat through the tires in a similar way. So I'm not sure what he's running, but definitely is a similar battle, but still he's definitely got the handling over me. But down these straights, I'm going to start catching him. In fact, on this, he goes a little bit narrow, and I'm not sure if it's going to help him, but he's holding it. I'm definitely struggling on these tires at this point, so just trying to finish it. I may have to just deal with the fact that I'm going to get a fifth. In fact, I'm still pushing, and it's not working for me. I'm losing my composure, and my lap times are starting to show for it. And so I'm just, at this point, I just gotta let it go and settle for fifth and not lose more time. Just gotta finish this lap strong and still get some points. That's good. Better than getting disconnected on the last corner like it happened for me for the first round, which I'm still pissed off about. So just making that work as is, and trying to see, you know, maybe he might make a mistake and I might be able to snag a fourth, but definitely all the other options are I'm still just a little much as I'm losing my composure, and I'm struggling on these dead tires. But one more turn to go. Leader's already finished. He's long gone from us at this point. So good race. Definitely this track seemed to prefer the Caymans better than my fat ass GTR. So just letting it go. It was a good race. It was at least a close race, though I didn't perform as well as I would have liked. But he actually even did better than the other GTRs, so I can't be upset about that. Definitely not a track suited for the GTR itself, considering all the sweeping corners. Definitely is a tire killer, so that sucks. But, you know, it was fun, and I look forward to doing this for the manufacturers. Only going to be following the manufacturers series as I need to focus on my classes, but looking forward to doing that. In fact, if you want to use my liveries, I have one for the Group 3 car and one for the Group 4 car. See you later.